Hello guys, it's me, SnM. We're gonna be playing Depression Quest. So, yeah. Sinking. Yeah. Okay, sinking. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4, 4. Okay. Enable full screen. Okay. Playing Depression Quest, an interactive non-fiction about living with depression, or fiction, by Zoe Quinn, Patrick Lindsay, Isaac Shankler. Okay. Its emotional character is probably mostly indescribable, except as a sort of double bind in which any / all of the alternatives we associate with human agency, sitting or standing, doing or resting, speaking or keeping silent, living or dying, are not just unpleasant but literally horrible. It's a quote from David Foster Wallace. Depression Quest is a game that deals with living with depression in a very literal way. This game is not meant to be a fun or lighthearted experience. If you currently suffer from illness and are easily triggered, please be aware that this game uses stark depictions of people in very dark places. If you're suicidal, please stop playing this game. Visit Suicide Prevention Hotline, talk to someone. Okay, I was gonna play this game to make jokes out of it. Isn't necessary, is it? I'm sorry if I offended anybody. Man up. Oh gosh, there's gonna be so much hate. The goal of this game is twofold. Firstly, we want to illustrate as clearly as possible what depression is like, so it may be understood by people without depression. Hopefully this can be something to spread awareness, fight against the social stigma and misunderstandings depression sufferers face. Secondly, our hope is that in presenting it as real simulation of depression as possible, other sufferers will come to know that they aren't alone and hopefully derive some measure of comfort from that. It goes without saying that because of the very nature of depression is experienced differently by every person who suffers from it, we're trying to say this is the best or most accurate representation, merely that this is an amalgamation of the experiences of the developers and several people close to them. Many of the following encounters deal with issues such as... I need to get up. I can't read this so far away. Encounters deal with issues such as therapy, medication, handling the love life, and reaching out to support networks. In reality, less than half of depression sufferers actually seek treatment for reasons such as lack of money, perceived personal failing, or public stigma. These things were included in order to touch upon as broad a range as possible, since all these elements can be very important to sufferers of depression, though they will not likely be the experiences of most sufferers. It's important to recognize that not everyone with depression is so lucky. Many people with illness don't have a lot of the luxuries that we have in this game. We've written it this way so that we can focus specifically on illness, which becomes more and more difficult to deal with as the person who has it less and less well off. This game's audio is part of the play experience. We encourage you to play with your sound on thing you're playing. Okay guys. View controls. Okay, this might not be an interesting game. I'm not depressed at all. I don't suffer through depression. I'm not the, energetic, loud kid at school or anything, but still, I love my life. It's early on a Monday morning. You're a mid-20s human being. You have a significant other named Alex, who you are rather fond of, that you have been seeing exclusively for the past few months. The rest of your social circle consists of a variety of friends and acquaintances, some of whom you met at your day job, which is a little boring but pays the rent. You'd like to be doing more with your life as you would your parents, but you're still in the process of figuring out what that means and how to go about it. You're also dealing with motivation issues that sometimes makes dealing with these things difficult. You feel like this is probably your fault, and on bad days you can feel inwardly angry and down on yourself for being lazy, but you're not quite sure how you can break out of it, or how other people deal with these feelings that seem so very functional. You spend a lot of nights fixating on things about this, but never seem to do anything about it other than lose sleep. Oh my gosh. Wait. Oh gosh, this isn't a fun game. This is an unseasoned... Oh wait, oh yeah, I have questions. It's an unseasonably warm Wednesday evening. You spent the past several hours at work. The past week or so you found your job motivation flagging more so than usual. You've been in fog practically all day today, simply going through motions without realizing even what you've been doing half the time, and yet time seemed to be moving at half speed. You're so checked out that when your boss approaches you, tell you that it's dead and go home early barely registers. As you walk home, the street hiss from the recent rainfall. You know that your significant other will be in class until late. Another couple hours at least. You briefly consider using this serendipitous serendipity with solitude, catch up on that project that you've been working on haphazardly for the past few months. As soon as you think about that work, as soon as you think about the work that awaits you at home, you can feel a panic creeping in from the back of your brain, but all you can think about is how incredibly far behind you are, and the amount of work seems nothing less than insurmountable. Insurmountable. By the time you arrive home and change out of your uncomfortable, I can't even talk. By the time you arrive home and change out of your uncomfortable work clothes, the stress is weighing down on you like a heavy, wet wool blanket. Your computer seems to be staring you down from your desk. You want to sit down and work, but the mere thought of trying to work sends your stress levels flying. More than anything, you feel suddenly and absolutely exhausted. You feel as strong as are to simply hide in bed. Do you reluctantly sit down at your desk, try to make yourself do something? Turn on TV, telling yourself you need a quick half hour to unwind from work, call in bed, you're so stressed already. Okay. Alright. You make a drop at your fridge, turn your favorite playlist on, sit down and start working. You open the last file you're working on, as soon as your hands touch the keyboard, your mind goes blank. All the motivation, and ideas you had. I'll be right back. 1 second. All the motivations, ideas you had when you arrived home vanish in a flash. Your brain seizes up and you find yourself physically incapable of any sort of productive thought. Take a break to loosen up, popping into your email inbox, Twitter, and various other internet-based distraction fodder. Frustratingly, this pattern continues throughout the course of the evening. As soon as you try and focus on your work, your brain diverts all its energy away from the task at hand. While you keep flipping back to your work, you find the sheer mental effort involved in keeping your brain focused is overwhelming and tiring. A few Twitter arguments, YouTube videos, and sparse amount of actual work later, your playlist floats back to track one. The icing glass has all but melted, diluting the last dregs of the coke you were nursing. You look at the clock and realize that a few hours have passed since you sat down to work, and you've made negligible progress. You can just wake up early in the morning and catch up. You think to yourself as you climb into bed, even though you know that never actually happens. Smile Friday afternoon. Oh my gosh. Alex calls you from one of her classes telling you that there's going to be a really awesome birthday party tonight at her apartment. One of her roommates, Sterling. You've hung out with this roommate a few times with Alex and you get along well enough but aren't particularly close. You don't have work in the morning and have nothing else in particular to do tonight. You're feeling kind of run down, but you have fatigue most of the time lately. You mentioned that you're feeling ill because you're not sure how else to explain those feelings to someone else and say that you aren't sure that you can make it tonight. There's a second of silence over your phone, but you can swear you can hear the sound of your partner's face fall. Tries to convince you anyway. You haven't seen her this week, and she sounds pretty insistent that you come over. June drops a few suggestions, worded hints that you can stay over with them tonight after the party. What do? I wasn't wait. Why can't I do the first one? Yeah, great to go, even though you're not feeling really social. You know it's something important to Alex. You relate seriously, and it does make you feel better sometimes, and you hope this is the case tonight, even if it does mean don't follow the usual social anxiety. Time rolls around, and you grab your overnight bag. Alex's apartment is a short walk away. There are already people hanging out on the porch. You feel your chest tighten as you approach the building, try to still your nerves. You quickly find your partner chatting away with the birthday girl, and Alex immediately lines up when she sees you. I'm so happy you came. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it. The young man taps on her shoulder, and she turns back to you to apologize and let you know that they have to do something for the party. Alex sends you a beer and plants a kiss on your cheek before going off to deal with whatever came up. As you look around, you don't see anyone else you recognize. Awkwardly standing in the same spot, unsure what to do. Put your bag in your Alex's room. Okay, that's great grammar. Put your bag in your Alex's room, avoid the crowd in there for a while. Lean back while sip beer and wait for your girlfriend to return. Proceed to drink in earnest, hoping it makes you less uncomfortable. Clean the back wall. I don't drink beer, but as Alex leaves, you're not quite sure what to do with yourself. Standing in the middle of the room leaves you feeling kind of exposed, and you don't feel ballsy enough to randomly approach any of the groups of people closer together talking. Okay, sorry about that. As Alex leaves the room, you're not sure what to do. Standing in the middle of the room leaves you feeling kind of exposed. You don't feel You don't feel ballsy enough to randomly approach any of the groups of people closer together talking. Head to a clear spot on the back wall and lean against it. For some reason, this always feels a lot more secure. You can scan the party from your face or any sign of your partner and come up with nothing, but not sure what else to do. Worrying that you must look creepy just standing there watching everyone. You take out your phone to busy yourself. That light flashing on the bottom, that kind of hurts my eyes. Gosh, 20 semi-tedious games of bejeweled blitz later. Your partner returns, you spend the rest of the night with Alex, occasionally being introduced to people and nodding along with group conversation, even if you don't participate that much. At the end of the night, as you're falling asleep with your girlfriend in the crook of your arm, she thanks you again for coming. Half drunk, she confides that she thought you were going to flake out and was pleasantly surprised that you managed to come out. She says it lovingly, but you're not quite sure how you feel about that statement. Okay then. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, how long is this? Like, how long are we in? We're 10 minutes and... Gosh, this is kind of stupid. I'm sorry, but I'm not... I know this ain't really a game thing, but... It's a little afternoon on a muggy Saturday. I just can't talk. I don't know why. Your mother has come over for a surprise visit, claiming loudly. She doesn't see you enough, so she decided to invite herself over. As converted, she walks around your place, and you get the distinct impression that you're being inspected. So what's going on with you lately? She asks abruptly. Taken somewhat aback by this left fielder, you tell her you're not sure what she means. She repeats the question, saying that you haven't seen like yourself lately. She gestures to the dirty dish pile and saying, and knows the fact that you haven't called or visited in a while. Your reticence only seems to spur her on more. She presses you, asking if you're having any problems at work or with others, and you're beginning to feel increasingly better about her sudden well-meaning but overwhelming inquisition. Under her questions, you become. I can't talk. I sound illiterate. I can't read in videos. Under her questions, you become increasingly uncomfortable. You want to be able to explain to her how you've been feeling, but the truth is you're not really sure yourself. Nothing horrific has happened at work or with your significant other or friends or anything like that, but all the same, you can't deny that lately you just felt drained and as though you're not really here. You wish you could tell your mother these things, but she hasn't been approachable about negative emotions in the past. She's the kind of person who holds opinions that the solution to any problem is to simply try harder and maintain a positive attitude. A stance that has reared its head in past conversations when you've begun to explore the subject with her. You know she's unlikely to be understanding, and you feel the energy drain out of you when you imagine what would happen if you managed to blurt out everything you're feeling. What do? I'll be honest with her anyway. Don't tell your mother how you're feeling despite initial misgivings that you have about doing so. Find the right words for how you're feeling. Cuts. What? Can't even talk. Find the right words for how you're feeling. Feels like trying to untangle Christmas lights, searching for the deadbolt colored mess. She watches you intently and audibly sighs before you can clearly articulate anything. Unfortunately, she reacts predictably. Gosh. I know I can read perfectly fine, guys. I'm not illiterate at all. I just don't know. Can't read right now. In videos, not at all. I'm sorry. And I do like that won't get you anywhere. You need to work hard getting what you want instead of sitting around feeling sad about it. Nothing good will happen unless you make it happen. She is angry, spiteful as she tells you this. You try to explain that it's not a matter of You try to explain that it's not a matter of that, but you can tell that you're not getting anywhere to the frustrating chokes of words in your throat and give up on trying to push the subject further. You know she's giving the advice that makes sense to her and genuinely wants the best for you. However, she doesn't understand that it's not simple as somehow deciding to be positive or work hard, is that those things aren't viable options because of these feelings. You accept her defeat and the conversation drifts on the other subjects. She leaves after chiding you to call her more often and take better care of yourself.
You sigh heavily as you close the door. How you spend the next few hours laying in bed, staring at the ceiling.
Oh my gosh. It's a lazy Sunday afternoon. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm really not reading anymore. Okay, we're just clearing everything. Okay. just diss everything. Is this like... Okay. Okay, let's... Wait. It's giving us like one option now. This is just... Feed yourself to the bathroom. Okay, wait, what is that picture? Oh, it's anal. It's something dirty. Move next. Next. I'm reading though. Your cat. You always put the cat. Gosh. Well. Okay, how long does this get? Okay. We really want to thank you for being there. It ain't the most, or even the easiest. I mean, it's definitely one of the easiest games I played. Other than the reading struggles I was somehow having. I read it like at pretty much college grade level. Let's do it. And you for being willing to play games that are much other than simply fun. Okay. Well then, this game isn't what I expected it to be at all. We're on Alienware Alpha, by the way, but yeah, depression, like, okay. People get depressed over things, like stupid things, and personally, you want my opinion on it? I think it's kind of wimpy. Man up. Don't let little stupid things get on your nerves. I could tell the whole story about how, not a story, but I could talk about why I think it is kind of dumb forever, because I just, seriously, man up. People get depressed over little things. Just fight through it. Like, why does it matter? Seriously. I don't know. It's a very touchy subject. But yeah, guys, that's it. I'm SnM, and that was not an enjoyable video probably. But yeah, we're gonna upload anyways. There might be a double upload day, who knows? But I'm SnM, and adios.